President, this will be a meeting. This meeting was called Texas Brine officials. They going to have a brief presentation, about 30-40 minutes, to discuss the activities that are going on their site, as well as upcoming activities to remediate the issues that that the Brine community has been experiencing, and then there'll be an extensive question and answer session. I'd like to introduce, we do have several public officials here. I know Henry Dupree and myself are here from the local government. Representative Kevin Sangerman is here, as well as our state senator for the area, Rick Ward. We also have West Congo with Senator Mary Landrieu's office. I know there was a lot of questions about whether or not the federal congressional delegation has been involved, and West was at the last two meetings, and he's here today. And he's offering as much support as he can from the Senator Landrieu's office, and he'll be around, so if anybody wants to ask him any questions or talk with him about anything that you're experiencing that you think that the United States Senator's office can assist with. As we said last time, for your benefit, the Subject Parish Police Jury meets every other Wednesday, 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock at the Media Center across here at the School Board Media Center. Typically we have a brief update from John Boudreaux, who's our point person on the ground, as OEP director each meeting. So I know there's some questions about the frequency of the meetings. A lot of these meetings are not attended by all the state agencies in Texas Brine, but we do have an update by Mr. Boudreaux to the jury, and the public is invited. So if you feel like you want to come to the meeting every other Wednesday, you're welcome to hear a brief update. John's in on all of the meetings, as well as myself and Henry Dupree attending some of these meetings. You're welcome to hear an update as to what we're being advised is taking place. So you're welcome to attend those meetings. Ever since the progress of this sinkhole started, and in last meeting, we, on behalf of the parish, on behalf of the residents, have urged Texas Brine to take an active role in trying to address all of your concerns. Obviously, everybody has different opinions as to ways to handle it and how they would like to be treated, what damages is sustained, whether or not they'd like to evacuate or not. My goal with Texas Brine officials has always been to encourage them to start a dialogue and start some active discussion with each of you on an individual basis to discuss what your desires are, what your wishes are, and what your special needs are. We understand that they're giving a flat fee to all of the residents that have evacuated, or all the residents within the evacuation zone. I know there's been some issues about camp owners, and I see several of the signs in the back as to how they're being treated, as well as those that want an option to move on and leave, and are not concerned about trying to stay and see whether or not this thing can be mitigated to where they feel they'd be safe to return. Everybody has their individual concerns, and I understand the individuality of each of you. So my question and my thoughts and my encouragements with Texas Brine has always been, meet with you on an individual basis. Get somebody out there to start meeting with you and discussing your individual needs. Because that flat fee may not be satisfactory for some families, it may be for others. Some families that want to relocate, they don't have the opportunity or the resources to do it. They want to move now, so hopefully that those needs can be addressed. For those that want to stay and want to remain there, I've always committed to you that the parish wants to see this thing through and make sure that the community is restored back to where at least we can have the environment is restored as best we can to what it was before for those that want to stay and for the parish as a whole. It's a beautiful area. So with that, I don't want to take any more time. This is a meeting of Texas Brine officials that are going to have, I think, some technical people going to explain to you what they're doing on their property. They're going to explain to you what their experts are saying and what type of tests they plan on running. And then they'll answer some questions from the floor directed towards Texas Brine. So this time, we'll allow Texas Brine officials to come in and make their presentation.
Good evening. Can everybody hear me okay? Anybody not hear me? Very good. Well, thanks for coming tonight on this change of weather evening. Tonight I'm going to provide you an update on our progress in Bayou Corn. and try to run through it fairly quick, because I know time's essential, and I want to provide plenty of time for Dr. Bob Toms and Mr. Kevin Hill to provide some detailed information about the vertical seismic profiling and the 3D seismic effort that's either been completed or the 3D that's about to be done. After their session, we'll have some question and answer periods after that. First on the 3D for Mr. Kevin Hill or Dr. Bob Toms, and then later on, and then I'll come back up and we'll have another question and answer session. The key parts we want to talk tonight in terms of an operational overview is to just update you on the sinkhole containment system, gas venting, monitoring, and where we go from here and what our focus is. I'm always so glad when that works the first time. First of all, the sinkhole overview. Our first priority is containment. It has been since August 3rd when the sinkhole formed, and continues to be. The other part of it is to actively monitor stability and the growth of the sinkhole and understand that, and to make sure we're ready to respond to it. There's a lot of information up here. The size of the sinkhole at this point is around 8.6 acres. When I include the area of subsidence around the sinkhole, it's between 15 and 16 acres. We're making good progress on the containment of the sinkhole, and I'll talk a little bit more about the containment system we're installing. But I think the bottom line is the sinkhole, while not yet stable, continues to do what experts have predicted. And it appears to be more stable now than it was a couple of months ago. So again, it's acting as one would predict. Now, this is a rather challenging one to see from the first row, much less the back row. So this is an overview, and it's an aerial photo that was taken a couple of months ago, and it's a photo we use to kind of depict the sinkhole depth survey that we do monthly. I'm going to try to kind of show the outline. As you can see here, this is the basic outline of the sinkhole, where trees have basically fallen in and that clay overburden has all caved in. And that's expected in this sinkhole as it continues. That area inside there is the 8.6 acres. If you have a chance to look at this up close, there's an area of kind of a red line that runs around the outside here. And that is the area where there's some subsidence has occurred as the sand below that clay, that top clay, the soil clay in the surface, has basically flowed into the center of the sinkhole.